Do you have any feelings about the intro track and the kind of interstitial, the guy Danny Brewer?
Yeah, I really like them actually.
So do I.
I mean the intro song, like I think I heard Conor Oberst joke at a concert once that that's like a song that no one likes, Firewall, um that he played it and like maybe like two people clapped or something and he was like, oh, finally somebody or whatever. But I kind of like it. It's like very like hypnotic and loopy. But the interstitial talking I kind of love. Like I'm just fascinated with voices and just that guy clearly has just like, I mean physically like the actual sound of his voice
Yeah.
is kind of cool, but I just also really like what he's saying in kind of a loopy way. Like it obviously doesn't make a ton of linear sense talking about like lizard people and time travel and pomegranates and stuff, but there is some level if I kind of like let my mind go slack that I think what he's saying is like really beautiful and cool. And I'm every time he shows up on the album, I'm kind of like cool, especially the end. Like we can talk about that when we get there, but like the very final thing after the final song of him, I think is really like a beautiful piece of like sonic art.
It's nicely placed. Yeah. And they got the little spots where every once in a while one word kind of is doubled over and stuff like that. Don't let this, because I really like them too. And I think I like that those intro tracks exist broadly. And then some of them I like more than others. And this one is kind of is what it is. His voice is interesting. You're hearing clean audio right away and you're just kind of listening, right? I had a thought that like I'm either gonna try and purge this thought or I'm gonna actually edit it in and do it. But I had this feeling of like him talking about like the reptilians and all of this stuff, and then cutting in like Joe Rogan's voice going like, "Holy shit, dude, this is like," because there's a way you can spin it to like this man has
Sure.
unlocked the fucking truth and no one else can understand it, and him and Rogan are doing 3 hours.
And they had tails, they had a few reptilian features on them. They could phase shift from one dimension to another dimension. And the people who know say it's from the fourth dimension, it's the next dimension. Space is expanding. There's spirits coming from the center, right? We're going counterclockwise. There's supposed to be 8 other universes going counterclockwise, and that's called super universe. You know, and love's always been the message. It's just circumstances happen, right? People freak out, just flat flip out, you know? Well, that's where Hitler came from. Hitler came from that way. He was an outspoken, charismatic yeller. And all these people say, hey, we use this guy. Look at all these people listening to this cat. You know what I mean? And so that's just one of the trips like that. You know, it still exists. And their bloodline goes back into Sumerian times. You know, they didn't call them reptilians, or they didn't call it, but they did because they call them Satan, they call them the devil, and it's the same damn trip. It's a negative force coming in on a positive force because it's just
Yeah. No, I know that's exactly, yeah, it can definitely like bleed into QAnon's
Yeah.
stuff in maybe an uncomfortable way, but like I just take it as like, you know, you've got a long wait at a bus station and just like the guy next to you starts talking and like kind of interesting if you sort of like turn something off in yourself.
I'll take listening to someone say interesting things for as long as they want to, regardless of how much sense they make, than someone coherently making sense in a boring way. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like the stuff about
exactly.
the pomegranates, like it, yeah, it's I'm a fan too.
Yeah, no, there's something really beautiful about it. And especially with like the music, you know, lightly underneath it, like it I think it's really well edited and culled together. And they let him go on. Like he really, there are minutes of his talking, I feel like, throughout the album.
In the re-listening back, like I haven't been inclined to skip. I listened to the man.
Yeah,
He's
no,
got